Are you somebody who feels like their budget is pretty in check? You are saving money where you need to, putting money towards retirement, saving for your long-term and short-term goals, but you're still wondering where you could save a little bit more? Today I'm sharing with you 10 daily habits to help you save more money in your everyday life. Number one is to actually keep your thermostat between 68 and 72. Between those ranges, I feel like is where the comfort range is for the human body, at least for me. In the winter, we usually keep our thermostat around 68. Actually, right now it's at 67 because that keeps it comfortable for us, but we're not paying as much for that extra 4 degrees. Same thing in the summer, we keep it usually at 72. It's just something small that's helped save a little bit of money in your electricity bill in the long run. On top of that, another trick that I actually recently learned is if you have windows and blinds, I think everybody has windows and blinds in their house, but if you have windows and blinds in your house, in the winter when it's daylight outside, to actually open your blinds up, that'll actually help thermal energy come into your house from the sun. And then when it's nighttime, to actually close your blinds to keep that thermal energy in the house. It'll actually help use the natural sunlight warmth that we get from outside, and that'll help regulate your home so that you're not using as much electricity trying to keep your house either warm or cold. The second daily habit kind of goes along the same lines, and that's to turn off your lights after you leave a room, or turn off any electronics that you have plugged in after you leave a room. I remember growing up, I used to always leave the lights on in a room before I left it, and my parents would always get on me for it. In fact, even where we had our TV, my mom would always have us watch TV with the lights off, which I actually kind of learned that is not the healthiest thing for your eyes, because then there's something like super bright in a room that's really dark, which is very vibrant and can be really harsh on your eyes. But turning off those lights when you're not using them is going to help you save money on your electricity. It's something that I know everybody knows to do. It's a very difficult habit sometimes to get into if you're not used to doing it. Daily habit number 3 is to BYOF, is to bring your own food. When I was working in an office, I literally brought my lunch every day. I was like the abnormal person in the office that literally ate at their desk. I never went out. I think if it were something where it was like a social gathering and people were going out to eat and like socializing together, I think I would have done that. But really, most of the people I worked with, they were going out to eat, getting food, and then bringing it back to their desk. I was like, why would I spend $10 on a lunch if I can just bring it from home? It's gonna be healthier for me. I'm gonna save a lot of money. I can meal prep. It saves me time from going out to get lunch and then coming back. I know some people see it as like a break from the office, but for me, it just really wasn't worth it. So I always brought my food, and then obviously COVID happened, so I wasn't working in an office. Now, after leaving my job, I work in a gym, which has a fridge and has a microwave, so I'm always bringing my own food, which is actually the norm of everybody I work with. And in bringing my own food, I can always plan my own meals. I know what food I'm putting into my body, which is really, really important to me. And to save extra on my grocery bills, I always use the Fetch app. The Fetch app saves me a lot of money. All I have to do is scan my receipt, and it gives me points back on things I've purchased, even just for scanning a receipt in, and I'm able to use those points to redeem for gift cards. I love, love, love the Fetch app. If you haven't downloaded it, you should definitely download it. It is free to use, and you're just gonna get money back. You can use the code Adrienne to get 3,000 points or $3 back after you scan your first receipt. I will say that if you work in a place, or if you're going out for a significant period of time where having food kept cold is hard for you, I would honestly say like invest in a really nice cooler. I do have a pretty nice Yeti cooler that I use, and I put an ice pack in, and it'll last the entire day if I want to keep some food cold and I don't have access to a fridge. Yes, that cooler is gonna cost me a little bit up front, but it's gonna save me money in the long term. Number 4 is to cut the bottled water. And then the last time I actually bought like a case of water was in college, which was a long time ago. I have since then, I feel like I've invested in like every popular water bottle that has come out since then. Like it was the Hydro Flask, or no, it was the Camelback first, and then it was the Hydro Flask, and now it's the Stanley. And I've honestly been in all 3 of those categories, and I will say, yeah, they are kind of pricey. Just like having a nice cooler is an investment. One thing I will say is having a large water bottle, one, saves me money because I'm not purchasing water bottles. I often, when we go out to eat like to a fast casual restaurant like Chipotle, I rarely buy a drink there because I always have my own water, and I feel like the money I save from not buying drinks there just already covers and pays for the water bottle that I've purchased. I've had my Stanley for almost a year now, and it has been, I know people get on, it's like the TikTok trend and they're all kind of haters about it, but I will say it's just like such an ergonomic water bottle. It fits in my cup holder. I've talked about this before. I feel like I'm a broken record right now, but I will say just find a water bottle that works for you. It does not have to be an expensive one. Bring it to those restaurants so that you're not purchasing a drink while you're out, and also use it at home. It'll keep you hydrated, but I think any way you can get in more fluids, be hydrated, is gonna help you and your body feel better. Like I was at the eye doctor the other day and I had my Stanley with me, and my eye doctor was like, good, you're hydrating, your eyes are gonna stay hydrated. Small things like that, it's worth it for me, even if the water bottle is a little expensive. Number 5 is to prioritize your daily exercise and eating well. This may not seem like something that's gonna save you money on the daily, but I always advocate for investing in your health, your personal exercise, your good nutritious foods, because all of those things, treating your body well and taking care of it now, is going to set you up well in the long term. So I will say, like, having a gym membership for me can be very pricey. Having a gym membership now and working out now gets my heart healthy, gets my muscles strong, my bones are strong, so that in the future, statistically, I'm less likely to have issues with my body if I'm exercising consistently on a daily basis. Same thing goes for my food. If I'm eating a healthy diet, then in the future, I'm less likely to have any health issues that would later on cost me a lot of money. So prioritizing that right now is really important to me for future me to thank myself now. And number 6 is to do one inconvenient thing every day to save you money. I really like this tip because it's something that you can change every day. I think oftentimes when we're really like digging down into how we can save money, it can get really monotonous if I'm trying to save money in the same way every day. What I'm talking about specifically is like when I was working in an office, it would have been significantly easier for me to drive to the office every day. But because of where I was going with the tolls, how far I was going, it literally cost me about $15 each way to get to work. So at that point, I lived pretty close to a metro stop. So I would actually metro to work, which took almost twice as long, but it was literally like $3 to get to work every day. It took me a little bit longer, but it was something that saved me money every day. And I'm not saying that you have to do that every day or something like that every day, but if I were to just drive to work 4 days a week and then 1 day a week I were to take the metro, that's saving me already $15 a week. Another thing you could do is if you're used to going out to eat every day for lunch at work, 1 day a week, let's just bring our own food. So those are just a couple of the ideas that I have. If you want to hear more about basically how I went from $0 to $100,000 saved, I will link up my video on how I saved my first $100,000 up in a card up above. Number 7 is to declutter as you go and resell unused items. Something I frequently do is go through our stuff and I resell a lot of things that I see we're not using, things that have potential value, because that's money that I can take and put towards things that we actually do want to purchase. I'm like literally constantly going through our stuff. Not only am I selling my stuff, but I'm also giving stuff away that I'm not using or I don't see value in, or that somebody else could see value in that I'm not. And the reason that helps me in my daily life save money is because the less time I'm spending rummaging through a bunch of stuff, or the less time I'm taking choosing which shirt I want to wear in the morning, the more time I have to do other things. What they say is money is time. The less money I'm spending making dumb decisions, in my opinion, like choosing a pair of socks, the more time I can be spending towards something that can be making me money, honestly, is how I look at it. It's also one of the best ways to just start saving money if you literally are starting from zero, is just to start looking through your stuff. What could you sell? What has potential value? Even if something that you're not using can be sold for $10, that's $10 more than you had before. I got my packages ready. Time to go drop them off at the mailbox. Daily habit number 8 is to swap instead of buy. So I've talked multiple times on this channel about buy nothing groups. Buy nothing groups are Facebook groups of people in your neighborhood, people in your area who, whenever they have something to give away, they can post it on that Facebook group. I have little fluffies like coming all over the place. They can post it on their Facebook group and people can claim it, and then you can go pick it up if it's something that you want. So this is what I talk about when I say I give things away. I often give things away on my buy nothing group. I often get like some very nice things on my buy nothing group. For example, I really wanted an alarm clock so that I wasn't sleeping with my phone next to me, because I just found it not to be very healthy. I like could not get myself to actually buy an alarm clock. So at one point I saw somebody giving actually a fairly nice alarm clock away and I snatched it. So that was one less thing I had to buy since somebody was giving it away. Another thing I got recently were these coffee syrups. Someone was giving 3 bottles away. They were brand new, so I went and picked them up. Since they divide everything up by your neighborhood, everybody's really close by. I probably could not walk everywhere. That would be a stretch, but they're all in like a fairly close range to me, so it's not far out of my way to go pick those things up. Number 9 is, I feel like this is like the most iconic, like drink your coffee from home. But what I want to add to it is to, yes, skip your coffee run every day, but do that and then make your home coffee like really fun and really exciting. So the way I kind of get excited about coffee at home is I get fairly high quality ingredients to make my hot morning beverages. So for me, that's both my matcha and my espresso. For my matcha, I've used a couple of brands before, but I've recently been using Peak, which has been like the most delicious matcha I've ever had at home. It's like very high ceremonial grade. Calculated it comes down to about less than $2 a cup, which in a coffee shop would cost me at least $6. At least around here it would. And yeah, it may be a little bit more expensive than if I were to get matcha somewhere else, but using my Peak matcha literally gets me so excited to make coffee at home. Like if you're thinking about making coffee in an old pot or in an old Keurig, like that's not exciting to me. So keeping it exciting helps me want to save money and helps me want to keep my coffee at home. I do have a link if you want to purchase any Peak products. You get 15% off if you use my link down in the description bar, and you get free shipping. So if you do want to try that out, I highly recommend it. It is super delicious. And number 10 is to get creative about your gift ideas. So gifts are not something we give every day, unless you really want to, if you find somebody you want to give a gift to every day. But I've gotten like fairly creative about giving gifts away. First of all, I always keep what I call a gift closet, which is not actually a closet. For me, it's just a container under our bed with just items I've come across that are either brand new or I've gotten on a really good deal. And I collect those into this area so that when I want to give a gift or I feel inclined to give a gift to somebody, whether it's an occasion or not, I can go look in my gift closet and I can see what's there. It helps me save money. I can grab a gift from there and gift it to them. Somebody feels really special. It costs me very little to actually keep this gift closet going. I personally really enjoy giving gifts to other people. These are just some of my tips to start saving money, whether you are starting to save money now or you've been really diligent about saving your money for a long time. The video I was talking about before was my $0 to $100,000 saved video. If you liked this video and like these tips, you will certainly like that video a lot. Thank you guys so much for subscribing down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, everybody. So if you've stayed until the end of this video, you, I feel like, are probably a fairly loyal subscriber, loyal viewer, and I first of all want to thank you so much for supporting my channel, even just by watching. This camera is so dusty. And because you stayed and because I feel like you're a loyal viewer, I do want to let you know that I am working on a fairly large project that is taking up a lot of my creative energy right now. Like if you notice, I didn't post a video last week. It is just taking up a lot of my energy. If you've been following my poll posts that I've been putting up in the last few weeks, the project kind of goes along those lines, but it's something that I'm really excited about. It's a product I really do feel like is necessary out in the world that I don't feel like a lot of people talk about, and I know a lot of people have questions about. My goal is always to publish content that helps you guys out the most in your financial problems. So answering those polls has been like extremely helpful for me to get to know you guys better. I will continue putting questions out like that out there so I can just get to know you guys better. I think since I got rid of my Instagram, I've felt very difficult being connected to you guys. And I know at the same time for me right now, having an Instagram is just not something that I can handle right now. It's just too much. And I've found it to be a lot more freeing to not have Instagram. So with that project, I'm working on a way to not rely on an Instagram as much, but have connection with you guys in that community. But that being said, that project has been taking up a lot of my time. Obviously, like I said, a lot of my creative energy. So I will be stepping back a little bit from how often I post on YouTube, at least for the time being. I'm hoping that I'll be done with this project in the next 1 to 2 months, and then I will hopefully go into a launch period with it. But I wanted to say that as a thank you for subscribing and watching until the end of this video and listening to all I'm saying right now, in the description bar I'll have a link to a email sign up. So if you go there, you sign up for basically an email list that if you sign up there, you will get notified when this project is being launched. And if you do fill it out, you will be entered to win one of 3 Amazon gift cards. And my plan is to pick those 3 winners in the next 2 weeks. I think I will probably pick it in at least the week of 2 weeks from now. So, and as soon as this project is done, I will be deleting this part of this video. So not the whole video, but just this portion of it where I'm explaining all of these things. So consider yourself quite special here. Thank you guys so much for sticking along for this ride. YouTube has been, I feel like it's been a marathon. I will say it's been hard since I took some time off, just like getting back in the swing of things. Like I've lost a lot of viewers and it's been a very up and down journey for me in the last whatever months I've been back on YouTube. So I just wanted to thank you guys for sticking around and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys.